Hello there, my fellow Mouseketeers. My name's Steph, and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things Disney. Welcome to a very felt-covered countdown. Whether you took a walk down Sesame Street or been a guest at the Muppet Show, or just someone who sometimes feels like a beaker in a world full of bunts and honeydews, you've come to the right place. In today's video, I am ranking my personal top 5 favorite Muppets of all time. So for this ranking, I'm only going to be using Muppet characters that either appeared in the Muppet Show or the Muppet movies. So I will not be including characters from Sesame Street or Fraggle Rock. So sorry, Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Elmo. Maybe next time. So from the sensational to the inspirational and the downright weird, we're diving deep into the Jim Henson vault to see who reigns supreme. So grab your banjo, find your favorite balcony seat, and let's get things started. It's time to play the music, it's time to light the lights, it's time to rank the Muppets on this video tonight. What? Too much? Okay, let's get started. During this ranking video, I just want to give you a friendly reminder that these are my personal opinions only. So if you have a different opinion, that is completely okay, and please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 on my Muppet ranking list is Animal. Animal is one of those Muppets that sometimes I really enjoy, but then other times he drives me absolutely crazy. Okay, so Animal, he's wild, he's frenzied, and we know that he is the beloved drummer of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. You know, we know he is an awesome drummer. Like, seriously. And he is so chaotic. You know, that's kind of what makes Animal a great Muppet character, is that he is so unpredictable. You never know whenever he's going to have one of his crazy moments. And that's what makes him entertaining to watch. You do not know what he is going to do next. And I know Animal is kind of designed to look like a scary monster and everything, but in all honesty, there is sometimes that Animal is actually really adorable, especially in his baby form. And, you know, Animal, he is just the perfect representation of the crazy side of the Muppets. But overall, Animal is actually very loyal, especially to his bandmates and his other friends. And he's definitely a Muppet that I would really want on my side. And, you know, Animal is very capable of having a very tender heart, and it's always a wonderful sight to see. Number 4. Coming in at number 4 on my Muppet ranking is Gonzo the Great. Gonzo, being referred to as Gonzo the Great, to me is a very accurate statement, because overall I do feel like Gonzo is a great character. Sure, he's considered as the Muppets' resident weirdo. We know that Gonzo is always trying to do these death-defying stunts as the Daredevil. We know that he is crazy about chickens. And I know we don't exactly know what Gonzo is, but that doesn't really matter, because he brings his presence to the Muppet Show that fills the audience with excitement, and he's just an overall positive character. Gonzo is a great friend to the other Muppet characters, and though he may be considered as a whatever, Gonzo doesn't let that stop him from achieving his goals or trying to accomplish the next big thing. He's just proud to be Gonzo, and that's actually something very inspiring that I feel we can all learn from. We should always be proud of who we are, and we shouldn't let the opinions of others stop us from achieving what we want to in life. I also really enjoy whenever they don't have Gonzo just focusing on being the weirdo or the daredevil. For example, in the Muppet Christmas Carol film, he served as the main narrator of the film alongside Rizzo the Rat. And I felt this showcased this character in such a deeper light. And, I felt like it was a really wonderful decision that they went with. And overall, I really love Gonzo. He's just one of those Muppet characters that I always enjoy seeing, and I hope to see more of them in the future. Because, Gonzo is a really cool guy. Number 3. Coming in at number 3 on my Muppet ranking is Fozzie Bear. We know that Fozzie Bear is one of the central core characters of the Muppet franchise. I'm sure whenever you hear the Muppets, Fozzie is probably one of the first few Muppets you actually think of. Ever since the main beginning, he has been portrayed as the stand-up comedian for the Muppet Show. Fozzie is defined by his desperate desire to make people laugh and his unwavered optimism despite constant failure. And of course, we can't forget the old classic, Waka Waka. Overall, we can see that Fozzie Bear really relates to the audience, and I feel like he's a very good inspiration because though he may feel insecure about whenever his jokes doesn't go over well, he never lets that stop him. He's very persistent. He's always wanting to make people laugh. That is his whole goal in life. And he's kind-hearted, he's very loyal, and we all know if Kermit ever needed him for anything, Fozzie would be there in a heartbeat to help his friend. For me, Fozzie always brings the positive vibes. Though his jokes may stink more than the garbage that animal eats, we always see that he is so enthusiastic. And, he always seems so happy to me. And that's really what makes the Muppet franchise so enjoyable. You always feel this positive emotion whenever you're watching any Muppet production. And I just think that's really incredible. And also, we can't miss out the fact that Fozzie has some great fashion sense. I mean, check out that necktie and that hat. Amazing. Number 2. Coming in at number 2 on my Muppet ranking is Kermit the Frog. We all know that Kermit the Frog is the main leader, the main host, and he's the main everything of the Muppets. And honestly, I don't know about you all, but for me, even if I just hear the name Jim Henson, I will automatically think of Kermit the Frog. Well, Kermit, he is the face of the Jim Henson Company. And without Kermit, we wouldn't have anything related to the Muppets, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, you name it. If it wasn't for Kermit, none of that other stuff would even be here. Honestly, he's like Jim Henson's Mickey Mouse. And anyway, Kermit, he's just like your average everyday frog, I guess you can say. But he represents kindness, creativity, and a sensitive soul. He serves as the emotional anchor for the audience. We are always rooting for Kermit to succeed. We have watched the films, we've watched the series, and we can always see that Kermit is always wanting the best for everyone around him. Whether he may be trying to encourage Fozzie to come up with some better jokes, or maybe trying to even boost Miss Piggy's ego a little. Or even trying to encourage Gonzo, like saying, hey, keep going, you can do this. Kermit is able to show what a real leader truly looks like. And honestly, if you don't love the relationship between Miss Piggy and Kermit, are you even a Muppet fan? Honestly, Kermit has great chemistry with every Muppet and every guest star that appeared on the show. And I feel like this is actually one of the reasons that the Muppet franchise is such a wonderful franchise, because they were able to create this world of illusion that the audience would really get lost in. For example, myself as a grown adult woman, sometimes I even forget that, like, hey, these Muppet characters, they're just hand puppets. They're not actually real people. And honestly, the way these Muppeteers really showcase these puppets through their personality, character traits, actions, or just through performing, it's really astounding. And, if someone can really get lost in that type of performance, it's just so hard to explain, that you just keep forgetting that these characters are not actually real. And to me, I believe it really showcases the genius mind that Jim Henson really had. And honestly, Kermit the Frog is a prime example of why this was so successful. Because if Jim Henson wasn't able to create a character that audiences could really fall in love with, there would have been no way he could have achieved the type of fame that his company has today. And it's just, the Muppets are a really great escape from the world that we live in. And I'm just so thankful that we can really experience something like this. Number 1. Oh, come on. Don't act so surprised. You knew as soon as I said Kermit was number 2, who was obviously going in this number 1 spot. And there is without a question in my mind that the number 1 spot should automatically go to Miss Piggy. And, Miss Piggy is obviously the most fabulous member of the Muppet cast. Listen, I absolutely adore Miss Piggy. I know some people might think I'm crazy, but hey, I love what I love, okay? And Miss Piggy is my absolute favorite Muppet character by far. And, Miss Piggy is a prime example of knowing your self-worth, okay? She has so much confidence in herself like no other individual I have ever seen. And honestly, if I had any ounce of confidence like Miss Piggy does, I could easily change the world. And with that being said, I feel like this is why Miss Piggy should really be considered as a great role model for audiences, especially the female audience. Because she proves that no matter what you sound like, no matter what you look like, you have all the potential in the world to accomplish any life goal that you have or any dream you want to achieve. You can do it. And honestly, this doesn't even include the fashion. I mean, hello? No one can pull these outfits off like Miss Piggy, okay? So, sorry Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, you can't do it. But seriously though, she's such a fashion icon and she's so beloved by many. And honestly, like I mentioned during the Kermit portion of this video, Miss Piggy's probably the second Muppet that you're automatically going to think of whenever you hear the word Muppets, or at least she is for me. And I know a lot of the characters may get annoyed at her from time to time regarding whatever she does. But, we all know that's part of Miss Piggy's charm and character, and that's why we love her. She's chaotic, unpredictable, and you just want to see her succeed. And not to mention the adorable relationship between her and Kermit the Frog. I mean, come on, couple goals. But yeah, in all honesty, you couldn't have a Muppet show without Miss Piggy. She is the star, after all. Now, a special word from my special guest. Take it away, Miss Piggy.
Do consider subscribing to this channel, unless you want this to happen to you. There's nothing like a trip to the Paris hospital. Kissy kissy.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, and make sure to hit that little bell icon to be notified for the next magical adventure. Alright, thank you, and I hope you have a very magical day. Bye!
See you real soon.